Welcome back, viewers, and I hope you've been well. I will start off with our previous video's continuation. So, if you recall, went through the project status report template, and there's one cool feature that you saw over there that was, showing you the different statuses of the schedule, the scope, the risk from green, amber to red. And despite what everyone might think, this is a very simple function that helps achieving this, and this is, uh, the power of the if function. So today I'll just let you in on the secret of this function, or rather the functionality of this sheet that's using this function. So you can see how I'm calculating these and setting these statuses over here. So for this purpose, we'll be going through two of our worksheets. That is, one is the project dashboard where this information is shown, and the second one is the LOVs, the list of values, which is used as the benchmark for these values. And I forgot to mention the third one where we are calculating the tasks. So just to remind you all, what I have configured or uh, plan to show over here is that we have a schedule in place, and that schedule is baseline. So this is the first level of assumption. So for those of you who don't know what baseline means, they can also go through one of my MS project videos, which covers that topic. And just to share over here briefly, so baseline is any timeline that you freeze once you agree to it. So if you have made your plan and everyone is agreed to that plan, so you immediately baseline. So that means that now that timeline is frozen. That becomes your baseline start and baseline finish dates, baseline durations. Then you start tracking your project using actual timeline. So that's more on the project management side or the MS project side rather. So over here, I've used the same concept. So what I've done is for schedule, I've kept, I've used the export that I get from the MS project side over here. For risks, I'm using my sheets, how many risks I have open, and same goes for the dependencies and issues over here. So all of these three items are using their respective sheets. So I'll first share you a simple one. So this is the one that shows you if your project plan is within the green range, or if it's falling into the amber state, or if it's falling into the red state. So first, let's go through the list of values that how what thresholds we have set. So for schedule, I have said that as soon as the project goes off track by 2 days, it will move into amber. So within 2 days, it's uh, it's considered that is okay. It will remain in green. For amber, I have said that if it goes beyond that, so if the project plan is off track for 5 days, it will go into amber stage. And similarly, if it's off track by 10 days, I have set it to red stage. So these are very, very, very strict uh, thresholds that I have set. So you can keep them flexible based on the type of project you have. So that's why I have made this list of values separate tab over here. So you can control those elements in your project status report. So right now, what happens is you see that these are the sheets that we're using. So let me just jump into the formula directly. So if we read through, you see there's a simple if formula being used, which has a format of, it consists of a logical test and the values to show if the test result is true and what value to show in case it's false. I've also made a separate video for if statement or if formula. So you can also go through that one. It covers a more simplistic view or simplistic scenario. So in our case, I have just used left, so you can ignore this one. So left is basically a function that picks up the number of characters from the left hand side that you specify for a destination. So in this case, I have told this function to pick up first three characters from the left hand side of tasks D2. Now task D2 is this one. It is this particular cell. Okay. So I'm pulling up the first three digits from here. And similarly, I have E2, which is the cell number right beside this one. So it's basically what I'm doing over here. If you see that one is the duration, this is the actual duration, and this is the baseline duration. So what I'm doing over here is I'm simply, subtracting the actual duration from the baseline duration. So supposing that my actual duration would exceed uh, the baseline duration, because baseline duration is not changing and actual duration has the capacity of changing based on how the project is going. So I subtract actual duration from baseline duration, and then I check that whether this particular value, whatever the result is. So for example, in my case, let's just walk through the formula. So baseline duration and actual duration. So the result would be 0, right? So if it's greater than or equal to B5 of LOVs. Now what is B5? B5 is this one. Okay. So if it's going to be greater than this number, 10, then I have to, pick what? I'll pick up A5. So I'll immediately show red over here. So we can easily test this out by, for example, if let's say I extend this to 99.5, right? You can see over here, it immediately goes to red. Why? Because now the difference becomes greater than 10. So 99.5 minus 79.5, the result is nearly 20, right? So it checks whether 20 is greater than or equal to V5, which is this number, which means it's true. So it picks up red and it shows over here. However, in case that was not true, then it will jump over to this particular part of the formula, where it will see that if the same function is less than B4, right? Now let's see what B4 is. That means that it's moving up in reverse, right? So first I'm checking the maximum value. So if it's the maximum one, it's in red. If it's not that, then let's move up ahead. So I move up a bit. I check this value. If it's within 5, it will go to amber. So I'll pick up A3. Else I will pick up A4. So if it's less than 5, it will show green. Otherwise, it will show amber. So let's test our logic over here. So let me just move out of the formula function first, just to avoid messing up things. So firstly, let's make it equal to 10. So it will remain in red because it's equal to this number. Now let's make it less than this number. So I reduce it to, let's say, 80. Okay. So now it's showing green. Why? Because it's less than 5. All right. So what if this difference would be, let's say, 87. Now it moves to amber. So to simply understand what it's doing is, first off, is differentiating the baseline and actual duration. So it minuses or subtracts the actual duration from baseline duration and checks the maximum threshold. If it sees that the threshold is equal to 10 or greater than 10, it will mark the status as red. However, if that statement is not true and that difference is less than 10, then it will move up a bit and see if the difference is greater than 5, greater than or equal to 5. If it's found true, it will set the status as amber. Otherwise, it will set the status as green. So over here, that's how this status is working. And similarly, the similar logic is applicable from the rest, just a different sheet, and it just it just picks up that in case, in case, I basically add these values and see that if the total of these high and medium risks is greater than the thresholds I have set over here, then it will show red, amber, or green over here. So similarly for the issues one. So you can see that how you can utilize a simple formula like if and bring out this outcome as per your requirement. So this is a simple if formula. You have if s as well, which has multiple conditions. So Excel is a very wonderful tool. It allows you so much flexibility in different ways. So if any of you have a different question or a question related to this topic, just feel free to drop a comment on my video. I know I have been less responsive recently, but I promise you you'll get your responses much sooner now. I have got my system back. It was into repairs. So I'm thankful to all of you viewers to remain connected with the channel and seeing my videos and posting your comments. I mean, those are the really helpful ones. I get to understand what different scenarios you're going through, and that also helps me in coming up with responses for them. So until our next video, please stay in touch. Keep commenting on the video, sharing your thoughts, sharing your questions. And as always, please, if you found this video helpful, please click the like button and remain subscribed to the channel if you haven't done so already. Until our next video, please take care of yourselves and bye bye.